Pedigree, heart, speed. Creatine, lifetime earnings of over $2 million. Built for excellence.
Creatine has the lead. They're coming down to the line. Creatine!
It's still Creatine there by 2 lengths, and Creatine wins pillar to post.
Creatine, standing at Diamond Creek Farm.
Derick Giwner along with Matt Rose, not to be confused with Max Rose, who won the 11th Congressional District in New York. Maybe a distant relative?
I see a similarity, by the way, a striking resemblance, but no, that's not me.
They look alike, but Matt's a much better handicapper, maybe not as politically inclined.
Not recently, but we'll give it a shot.
Harness Spotlight, November 8th to 9th. We're going to look at a race from Dover Downs, one of the matrons, and a race from the Meadowlands for Friday. We're going to start with Dover on Thursday. That's November the 8th. There are 4 divisions of the matron. You can only bet on 3 of them. We're going to look at one of them, which is race number 10. It's $213,000 for the 2-year-old Colt Pacers. And this really is a wide open field.
Yeah, I mean, you look at these 2-year-old colts, especially in this field. Nobody's really distinguished themselves or gone above and beyond, or gone to the head of the head of the pack here, which leaves a pretty competitive field. We see the morning line favorites semi-tough. I guess you can make a case for him being the lukewarm favorite in this race or in this spot. I also see 10 starts, only 1 win, 6 seconds, which is kind of concerning. Didn't make the Breeders' Crown final after rebuffed Uncovered in his elimination. I guess we don't hold that against him, but you know what? Some horses are just camera shy, maybe second-itis, so I'm going to throw him in the second spot again here and look at very familiar, reliable connections, and that's Jimmy Takter, Yannick Gingras with Blood Money.
Yeah, there are a lot of the Breeders' Crown horses are signed on to this race. I mean, number 2, Sugar Factor, is another one that didn't make the final after, trying to go to the lead and didn't quite do so well. Trainer Tom Cancelleri kind of mentioned to me that this horse just doesn't like to be on the lead, so don't expect to see him in that spot this week. Blood Money is certainly a horse that has a shot in here. Love Me Some Lou raced really well in the Breeders' Crown final as well. Closing from off the pace. He's had some bad luck. According to the trainer, also told me he just seems to run into everything. Horses, just about everything.
You see 2 IXs in his interference breaks in his last 3 starts. You know what? Maybe we have the 1 as a camera shy horse, and the 5 is just a bad luck horse. But Blood Money, you know what? We saw a good, solid effort from off the pace in the Breeders' Crown elimination. Post 9 in the Breeders' Crown final kind of forced Yannick Gingras' hand. He had to try to lead the gate, I guess, or get away last, and we're going to go from last.
He's leaving in this spot.
Yeah, but you know what? I also assume he's better from slightly off the pace, as he's been proven. I sure it was a tiring effort, but like I said, he really had no choice but to drive on from post 9, and after being used early, he had an excuse to flatten a little bit after getting shuffled along the way. You know what? I just think this is a good spot, a winning spot. If I get anywhere near his 7-2 morning line, which I don't think I will, I'll be on board. And like I said, a race with a competitive race with no standouts.
I went a little bit of a different way. I went number 6, No Mas Amor. I feel like he won 2 starts in a row. Granted, those were pretty good trips that he had in the elimination of the Breeders' Crown, where he skimmed the cones the entire way, and then in Lexington prior to that. But in the Breeders' Crown final, just had absolutely no chance. He wasn't going anywhere trying to make that 4-wide move off the final turn. You just don't win from that spot at Pocono. It's basically impossible. He closed well, raced well. You can't really fault him at all. I think this is a spot where he can follow, whether it's Blood Money first over or Love Me Some Lou first over. One of those horses will be first over. He should be second over, and he's shown that he has a huge leg kick and he can get there.
I mean, I also see 5-2 in that Breeders' Crown final. Tough spot to be in if you took him at 5-2, but
this week you'll get a much better price, I think.
You should. Other horses to look at: Reigning Deo, New York Sire Stakes champion Brett Pelling. That was a solid off-the-pace charge at 20-1. Freshened up with a decent enough qualifier. Figure he'll be a big price in this race, in a race where maybe anything goes. He could be a halfway decent price. We have Mango on the far outside, another Breeders' Crown finalist. Tough spot in the Breeders' Crown final. Tough spot here, but
he'll probably have to gun out to have any kind of shot in this field.
I agree, and that might seal his fate because I don't see a ton of speed from him, and that's a tough outside spot. But again, don't take too short of a price on anybody in this race. It should be a competitive event.
Race 10, Dover, on Thursday. That's one of 3 matrons on the betting card. It's a race that starts to pick 4, so maybe you want to look at that. We're going to move on to Friday, and it's race number 6 at the Meadowlands. It's a preferred handicap for the fillies and mares. Originally, this field had 7 horses, and they cut us down to 6. I'm guessing the reason is Pure Country was scratched because she was going free-legged this week, and maybe they wanted to qualify free-legged. That's my only guess.
I don't know. I know. Don't you have the inside track with trainer Jimmy Tactor?
I did not have enough time.
Scoop. You could tweet it out or something like that. Yeah, he is listed as an early judge's scratch after drawing post 6. So Caveat Alley moves into post 6 and makes. You can make a case she'll be the favorite in this short but pretty select field.
I find it to be an interesting race because of the fact that these horses are obviously getting ready for the TVG Mares Final. At least some of them are. You know, Caveat Ali is. Pen Pal certainly is on the fringe, but basically if she finishes anywhere in the money, even in the top 5, she's probably in. Darwin on the Beach, I'm not sure what she's getting ready for. She hasn't raced in this series at all, so she's not really eligible to the TVG. There's no more stakes races coming. I'm really a little baffled as to what we're looking to get out of Darwin on the Beach in this spot. I don't know that Caveat Ali is going to be gunning to the front here because there's really no need to when they're racing for $200,000 next week.
This is always the problem in these overnight events with horses that you have to try to figure out who's tuning up and who's not tuning up. Listen, I've always been a fan of Caveat Ali. She's been a solid mare, a solid second in the Breeders' Crown Final. After showing speed to set up a perfect trip, second best to Charlton N. You know what? Assuming the intention is there, how hard does she have to work here to win this race? She only has to pass 5 horses to her inside.
If she doesn't leave,
how hard does she even have to leave to secure a good spot or even secure the front? I don't really see anyone. I don't see anyone really getting in her way early. Pen Pal, you have to figure, is going to be a rail rider.
She's going to be glued to the cones.
I'm trigger happy. She's a nice mare. She still has something to prove. Skipping By is another nice mare. Monica Gallagher, they're all nice mares, but Caveat Ali, yes, she's the best. You have to assume the intentions are there. I don't think she has to work that hard to win this race.
Listen, I agree. Listen, if she shows up, she's probably going to win the race. Though Darwin on the Beach is a really quality mare, but she hasn't raced since May, and the qualifiers were really good. I just don't know what to expect. You know what? I wouldn't be opposed to someone who wanted to take a flyer with Skipping By in this spot. I think she's certainly going to be on the lead here. At least it seems like she's going to be on the lead here.
Early lead, at least.
The early lead. If she gets away with a 56 half, 124 3/4, why can't she sprint home in 26 and 4?
Well, you know what? If any mare in this race goes 56 124,
but isn't she the most likely horse to be on the lead in this race?
Most likely, at least early on.
I mean, the 3 and the 4 are going to leave. Monica Gallagher and Skipping By, they're both going to leave. They should be sitting 1-2. And do you see Darwin on the Beach making a huge charge?
No,
probably not.
You said, I don't know what
it's just a matter of Caveat Ali. If Caveat Ali is going to make that kind of charge, yeah, she's probably going to win the race. But there's just as good a chance she's going to sit 6th in this field
and try to make one move.
And try to make one move at the back end.
That's what makes this race so complicated.
And this is why I picked the race. But you're still picking Caveat Ali anyway.
I'm still picking Caveat Ali because I just don't trust. I know she's the best, and I can't make a strong enough case for anybody else in this race. I really can't.
Well, I don't know if I feel strongly about it, but I would take a shot with Skipping By. Okay. Should be 10-1, 12-1.
Nah, well, we'll see.
It's something like that.
A big check mark in red.
Caveat Ali is going to be like 3-5. I mean,
not necessarily. You know what? Probably, if you know the intention is there, she should be 1-5. But.
That's why you're getting 3-5. You're getting big value on a horse that should win this race if she comes to play. So that's race number 6 at the Meadowlands on Friday, November the 9th. It's the preferred handicap. There's plenty of other great action at the Meadowlands during the weekend. They got a couple stakes races on Saturday, and we'll be back next week. Good luck.